Coming at you live from a shady Manhattan studio, it's Disgraceful, featuring your gracious ginger host.
Hey, watch yourself. Only I can say that.
Okay, boss, whatever you say. You pay my bills. Give it up for Grace O'Malley.
Okay, so for this episode, we just got right into it because Bert Kreischer is a fucking legend. He's an actor, a comedian, and the goddamn machine. Please enjoy.
My mental health is good now. It's good now, but man, I think when I got off the road and stopped touring, I got like depression because I didn't have that immediate reaction with all the fans.
Yeah.
You know?
What did you do to like supplement that? I like working out. Like what gets the same adrenaline? Anything else?
No.
Yeah.
Nothing's better.
That's good to
Nothing's
know.
better. Yeah. It doesn't get better.
Does it get better than that? No, yeah, I figured.
There's nothing like walking into I mean, let's be real. I remember one day I was like, I read a shitty comment on Instagram. It kind of got in my head.
You read them a lot?
No.
No.
I don't anymore. But I did for a period, and I'm trying to get back into it. I want to get back into it because I feel like I feel like I stopped, and I feel like it disconnected me from my fans.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I stopped, and then I was punishing the masses. It's almost like they won.
Yeah.
So now he doesn't read comments. Good, we got him. He's done. Mm-hmm. And you're like, it's not cool.
And then you hone in on just the bad ones. It's it's a fucking nightmare.
You get 10 good ones, and then the one bad one talks to you. Yeah. And that's just real. I wish I didn't even talk about it, to be honest with you, because it stinks. But I remember reading a bad comment, and Leanne called me, and there was a problem at home, and I was like, "Fuck!" I was like, "Babe, you realize I'm going on stage right now?" Mm. And she was like, "I know, but we need to talk about this." And I was like, "Okay, talk about it." And I got these two things in my head, and I'm like, "God damn it!" And then I walk on stage to 19,000 people, and I'm like, "It's okay." This is fucking amazing.
It's like injecting yourself with something, just like immediately, like we're good.
And you're doing the thing you love more than anything. The thing you love. My favorite thing it's not killing. It's figuring it out.
Oh my God.
The figuring out of a joke, the untangling of the necklace to get to the thing. I'd argue my favorite part of a joke is the time you went on stage before it worked, where you figured it out and you said, I got it. I can give you exact example. And this is a horrible example because everyone's heard this story a million times, but I don't care. But the machine did not have a good ending. It did not have a good ending. It just ended with, so I understand you're the machine. Tonight you party with us. And it wasn't working. And I was like, why isn't that working? And I did it like that for like 4 years. And it just ended. The story ended. Like everyone was like, cool. And I'd have to tell a joke to close on.
Yeah.
And then one night in Columbus, Ohio, it's back when they had the plant on the stage in the old room. I remember I had a joke, a middle part in the middle of the joke where I was like, I would fuck around and say that I'd tell a fact that didn't matter. And this guy I really respected was with me, and he was like, "Why are you saying that?" I was like, "I don't know. The teacher's Puerto Rican. I thought that's interesting."
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, but you're taking away from the joke. No one cares that she's Puerto Rican." And I go, "All right." So I just didn't say it. And I said something that they said all the time in Russia. Fuck that bitch. This is Russia.
Yeah.
Oh. That's my favorite part of stand-up right there.
Oh, dude.
Is when you do that and you go, there it is. I figured it out. I fucking figured it out. I figured it out. I figured it out. I figured it out. Shut the fuck up. I figured it out. That's my favorite part of stand-up. That's it. I don't like...
And the way you figure out a joke, is it always like that, like on stage, or do you sit back and like you try to rewrite it? Or is it always...
You know, I can barely write anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't written in so long, my hands forgot all the fucking movements. Like, have you sat down and written a letter lately?
Your hand,
who fucking writes?
I know.
No, I write a lot on stage. I write when I walk.
Yeah.
If I walk, that's one thing I miss about New York. If I walk. Today, I was walking. I'll tell you exactly what I wrote. Because now I voice texted into my fucking phone.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
You ever put stuff into like your notes and you think it's going to be a banger when you're drunk, and then you open it up and it's like, what the fuck is this?
Do you want me to read those to you?
Yes, please.
The cashier who didn't know how to cash a $20 bill. I don't know anything about grown-up stuff. And then I just wrote that going, riff on that, Bert.
Have a blast.
I lost a joke book, which is terrifying.
I have a joke about losing my joke book.
You lost your joke book?
I do it on stage, yeah. I was with Whitney opening for her, and it was the first time I've ever had a collection of jokes like that. and I was petrified. I found mine. I'm sorry you didn't.
Mine has my full name, my address, and my phone number in it.
Don't social in.
And by the way, it's got all my dreams. It's got all my dreams, and then it's got all my goals for the year. In my joke book, I take it and I flip it upside down, open the back page, and I write my goals for the whole year. Every year I have a new joke book. And then I write my jokes. And this year I started a joke book. I wrote all my goals, and I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I don't want anyone touching this. I'm trying to figure out life right now. I don't. I write on stage primarily, but like I like to take a walk, and I can write on a walk, not on a hike. It's got to be a casual walk.
Yeah, because you're out of breath.
Yeah, and right now I'm kind of lost creatively. I haven't been on stage. I've been on stage, but I haven't like been on stage the way that you're supposed to be in a while. Because I said I was going to take a break in July. I'm taking a year off, and then I think I'm going to take more off.
And you just consider that taking a year off to you is just not doing your own tour.
Yeah, I mean, touring for me is that's work.
Yeah.
The second I announce a tour, I don't know. I could go back on that. It depends on what happens with a couple projects.
Yeah, like what do you call what you're doing on the Super Bowl, like for the Super Bowl week?
That's just a show.
That's just a show.
Yeah, I do that. I do shows.
Yeah,
like I'm doing some shows in Canada with Whitney. I'm doing some shows. I'm doing the Super Bowl show. Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be a blast. Those are blast. But I'll do material there that I know works.
Yeah.
But when I set up a tour, for me that means I've been working on this hour, and I'm crafting this hour to do a special. Yeah. And so I think as a fan, if you're into my stand up, then you're like, cool, I'm ready to see the craft and the process and and watch him work it out on stage and have fun with this act. And I love touring. It's my favorite thing in the world. Yeah. Touring on a tour bus is the greatest joy of my life. Really? Yeah.
And so who's on your tour bus? Because it's different from musicians to comedians. Yeah. Right? Is it just you on your tour bus?
No, it's me, Pete. So usually for a tour, I'll travel with 3 tour buses. Yeah. For like fully loaded, we travel with, I think, 7. We do 3 for a tour. We have 1 as crew, 2 as crew, and then 1 is me. And like I'll bring an opener, 2 openers, Pete, and another assistant. Okay. Yeah, and then on the other bus is tour manager, caterer. Like it's like you just fill it out. We have a staff of like 13. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. It's kind of crazy because I think sometimes I really enjoy arena work. I enjoy it. It's fun. It's fun having a group. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Anyone that's ever done it with me has always been like, this is amazing. Like Big J, everyone that's ever done it, Shane, everyone that's ever gone out, Mark Norman, Nikki Glazer, Tony Hinchcliffe. The list is like, if you look at the people I've brought out with me, it's insane amount of talent. And every single one of them loves arena shows. Yeah. They do. The outdoor shows is touch and go for a lot of them because, sometimes depending on where you go up, the sun's still up. And, usually like the guys that go up later like it more because it's a little darker. But, I understand that. I love the outdoor shows. That's for me. That's a present for me. I love them. I think they're so fucking wildly different than anything going on in comedy, and it's something no one ever forgets. And you can bring Jelly Roll on stage, and Jelly Roll goes on before I go on, and he sings 3 songs. I think that's fucking wild. But those arena tours, there's not one person that's ever been out in an arena with me. And there's people that shit on arenas all the time. Every time they come out, they're like, this was fucking incredible.
One thing about you, you are a fucking good time.
That's all I am. That's all I am.
But like people, but that's not all you are. But like people will walk away and be like, that tour was so much fun. I had a blast with Bert.
I tell you what, I'll just say thank you. That's what I should say. Yeah. No, but I like having a good time. Yeah. I just like having a good time. I'll be bummed the day I die because it's over. But I like having a good time. That's it. I like having a good fucking time.
Dude, I'm fucking right there with you. That is all I care about. Yeah. Just have a fucking good time.
Life's too short to get caught up. And that's why I stopped reading comments for that period, because I was like, life's too short for me to like allow some kid that works at Kmart that is not happy with his life because his dad left his mom when he was young and he lives in her apartment and they share a car and he doesn't have anything nice and he's maybe like 5'6".
And he got a DUI.
And his best part of his week is Chipotle with his mom.
Yeah, he had a coupon.
Life's too short to allow him to fuck my day up.
Absolutely.
If I can't make his day better, then I failed.
Yeah.
But if the only way to make his day better is to shit on me, I gotta step away. It's a good kid. I follow him on Instagram.
Yeah.
I do.
You guys keep in touch.
I do. I know the kid. It sucks to be him.
Poor
It's like, why was like, it's like, this didn't exist. This didn't exist in like fucking back in the day. There was no like General Custer thought he was a badass. He was a dick, okay? In life, he was a dick. If you could have left comments on his page, you'd have been like, bro, lighten up on the fucking Native Americans. 3 tribes. You're trying to move into Montana. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Think about Napoleon, man. His hate comments, because he was short.
Yeah.
They would have lit that dude up. Like, people find your thing that they think may fuck with your head, like Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
They showed the picture of him in the end zone, and he was like, he looked like a baby, you know? And then he did. Compared to those people, every one of us is. But they think they're gonna, imagine they would have lit up Napoleon. Who do you think, out of all the conquerors, would have been best on social media? Like, would have just lit up?
Right now, right here, I'm starting to really realize I should have paid attention in history. I got, like, these are words, and, like, I'm learning.
I think I'm getting Alzheimer's.
Yeah?
I
That's tough for
think.
the career.
I'm good at, okay.
Actually, you'd be hilarious once you get Alzheimer's. You get even better.
I'd be like, when I was 22, I got involved with and I just kept it going, and they didn't know if it was a bit or not. I actually thought about that last night. I was like, I wonder if I got dementia or like Alzheimer's. I wonder if I could work it into my act, because I think I'm smart enough to figure out a bit. Like, I got Alzheimer's. Hey, what do you do for a living? Cool. What do you do for a living? I know that I would think in funny terms of ways to do it, but yeah. Why not OnlyFans? I always think OnlyFans is an option for everybody.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, hold on.
I change by myself like this, though, so I won't. I'm not interested in any of that.
You know what? I have like a dysmorphia because I think I look good. Like when I take my shirt off, I look in the mirror and I go, nice.
Wait, can I say something about you taking your shirt off?
Yeah.
Okay. The first time we met was like in a very brief way. I was at the Super Bowl, and I was like, I think we have the tape. I'm just gonna show you a clip.
Are you serious?
Real quick. Yeah, just real quick.
Wait, what's Super Bowl?
Last year's Super Bowl. It's just like real quick, but it's very funny. So I was the only employee invited to Media Day, and this was the only clip we got. It was me meeting my hero. Grayson Malik. Nice to meet you, man. I'm a real huge fan.
Oh yeah.
I'm dying to meet you, man.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
Thank you. Fuck yeah.
I delivered.
You're my hero.
Tommy just left. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Dude.
All right, we're heading out.
All right, I'll see you. You got Slapshot?
Yeah.
Whatever tonight?
Yeah.
Me and Bert like this. I got it on candid camera.
That was a God, I gotta lose weight. Do you ever look at yourself? All I saw was like, God, my stomach looks good there. Like, it doesn't look too bloated. My shoulders look light, but
I think look bagging.
yeah, I like going to those big events. But the party afterwards is fucking fun. The only reason I do it is for the party afterwards. I actually this year was like, because I was like, it's like the coolest thing is to see and I mean this with love, and I know this sounds weird, but like the kids that you came up with, meaning like Nikki used to open for me.
Yeah.
And I used to bring her to radio, but to watch her inarguably blow past where I am, it's like fucking kind of cool.
Yeah.
And Tony has got inarguably the biggest podcast in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one of the hotter than a fucking stolen gun. And fucking Adam Reyes, Dr. Phil, one of the biggest Netflix specials out there. To watch these dudes that I took out on tour with me. I took all of them on the road with me at one point. To see them kind of like way outshine me is kind of cool. But I was wondering, I was like, I wonder if I should host. I wonder if I'm like am I at that age where I host? Because like, it's crazy to go last. Those are monsters on stage. Right now, they're fucking in the pocket. Every single one of them is hitting the stage every single fucking night. And I was like, God damn it, man. This is like, I'm nervous.
Well, they're so locked in right now, and you're also at the point of your career where you're able to take that break that you needed, and so you can't think too much on that, and how you can't think like that.
No, but it's like I wondered. Like I was like, should I host and let Nikki close? I mean, Nikki, let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you a secret. Okay.
Oh yes.
Pete was there, so I'm not. You correct me if I'm making any of this up. So I get a media request to do. And by the way, anyone can discount anything I'm about to say. My recollection is always fucking horrible.
I get that.
It's like I just can tell you the story the way I remember it. I don't fucking know what you want to hear. I get a media request to do New Orleans, like their Good Day New Orleans, or whatever. And I was like, sure. I was like, yo, I'm going to be in San Francisco that day. We're doing Winston Churchill Day. It should be fun, but like, I can do it, but can we do it like 9 o'clock? And they're like, yeah, 9:30. And then I get a text and they're like, yo, can Nikki join? Nikki's available. And can Nikki be on? I was like, fuck yeah. Nikki and I've known Nikki for maybe 25 years. Yeah. I love her. My daughters love her. My wife loves her. She's like literally a part of our family. We love her to death.
Fuck yeah.
Her, Whitney. There's like women, any woman in comedy, Fortune. I mean, they're almost like family to us. Yeah. And so I go, yeah, of course Nikki can join. That'd be a blast. I didn't realize what I was getting into. So they start the interview and they do a little bit of like not pre-interview, but they get us on Zoom and the host is Malik something, and it is very clear he has absolutely zero idea who I am. Oh. And he loves Nikki. And it's humbling. It's humbling. Being humbled's good. Yeah. But he is like, oh my God, Nikki. And we're both on the screen. Mm-hmm. And by the way, I'm on the screen.
That's just a shitty thing to do to anybody, though.
No. Dude, I'm on the screen, and I have I'm shirtless in a Winston Churchill hat with a glass of scotch, a cigar, and a full English breakfast in bed with me. Okay? I'm not like kind of on screen also. I've dressed the set. Dude. He's like, hi, how you doing? Nikki. Oh my God, Nikki. Can I ask you some questions about the Golden Globes? Take a look at the picture. Send them the picture so they can show people. That's what I look like.
That's the picture?
That's the fucking picture.
Dude.
And this guy.
Oh my God.
And then Nikki's like, yeah, she's very generous with the guy's time. She's like, it was great. And he's like, what? And I go, Nikki, I'm just curious. I'm trying to be a part of the conversation. Yeah. I just want to be involved.
Like, hello.
And I was like, hey, Nikki, what celebrities were said that they really loved your set? And he goes, I was going to ask that on show. And I was like, okay, all right.
Alrighty,
I was like, cool. I guess I'm going to shut the fuck up. We start the interview. And he like, real quick. So we're here with Bert Kreischer. And by the way, he said to me, he goes, so let me get your names right. It's Nikki, Nikki, Glaser, Glazer. And she goes, yes. And he goes, it's Bert, Bert, and Kreischer, Kreischer. And I went, yeah. And he goes, great. All right, we're live in 2. Here we go. We're here with Bert Kreischer and Nikki Glaser.
Comedians Bert Kreischer and Nikki Glaser.
This is the interview I've been waiting to do. Bert, what's going on in your bed? And I say a little something. He goes, awesome, Nikki. And he pivoted. And by the way, let's be honest, and you can find the footage, they cut to a one shot of Nikki. I'm not even on the screen anymore. It's a one shot of Nikki. And Nikki, I've known her so long, she's giggling because she knows what's going on. And fucking God bless Nikki Glaser. And I texted her that day. She's like, yeah, the Golden Globes was awesome. But, this is all about our show in New Orleans. And she kept going back to me. And if she had not gone back to me, he would have never spoken to me the whole interview. He was like, great, Bert Kreischer. Anyway, Nikki, who did your dresses? I mean, it was like, and listen, we're comics, so we find humor in everything. But Nikki texted me immediately. She's like, "Oh my fucking God!" And I was like, "Yeah, thank you so much for bringing that back to the show." Because she was like, "Bert puts on the best show, Bert," and he's like, "Who's Bert?" And then she's like, "The guy." Oh yeah, Bert Kreischer. Dude, so tell me, like, I always feel like that way, like, like candidly. I'm not good at like listening, and I don't listen the right way. I guess I don't know. I'm working on that in therapy.
I think it's good that you know that and. You're aware of it. I think that's like the first step. Most people don't care to even know that part.
Well, I didn't care for a long time.
Well, okay. Therapy is good.
Yeah, BetterHelp. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Listen, 2025, you write your own book. There's 365 pages that are all you. Be your own editor. But yeah, I don't listen super well. What were we talking about?
I don't know. You weren't listening.
I wasn't listening.
Oh, you getting outshined, I suppose. Right. Nikki Glaser.
So like sometimes when I do my best work, it's really hard for me because I feel like I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
So like we did a podcast with Matthew McConaughey, me and Tommy. And I know Tommy is in love with Matthew McConaughey. And like he's like, I don't know the right way to say this, but like he is like, got like really good questions. And like he wants to talk about the process and the work. And I read his book so that I had good questions. Because if not, I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah.
So I read his book, but all I came out with was the fucking, that he likes ketchup.
Ketchup. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like case in point of not listening.
Yeah, and that's my only takeaway is the guy likes ketchup.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. That's like my favorite part.
Yeah, but
It's really funny.
But no, but I really felt like I sucked on that interview because I was like, because Tom's like talking about the process of acting and your best roles and when you write a book and do you have, like all these real things that I don't give a fuck about. Like I don't like.
You're like, green light, ketchup.
I'm never gonna fucking act like Matthew McConaughey. I'm never gonna have his career. I'm not gonna write books like him. Like I think he's cool as fuck. I want to know about whatever happened to Sasha from fucking Dazed and Confused. Like those, my questions aren't good questions. They're things I'm interested in, but not everyone is interested in. And finally, like we get to the end of the interview, and I was like, "All right, bro, I got to know about ketchup." And Tom looks at me like, "What the fuck?" Like I'm fucking the interview up. But it turned into a good part because he ended up giving his tuna fish salad recipe.
Yeah.
But like
and people were making it. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Like,
but it's like I feel, but in those moments where I'm listening,
yeah,
I feel like I'm fucking up. Like we did an interview with Arnold, and I feel like I'm fucking up if I'm not adding. Does that make sense?
That's exactly how I feel currently right now.
No, you're doing a great. I think you're doing a great job.
Was that?
I think you're doing a great job.
Okay, cool.
No, I think it's good with me because I won't shut the fuck up, so I'm not letting you talk, really.
This is perfect and amazing. You are my second guest.
Yeah. When I do good on a podcast and I don't talk, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like
No, that totally makes sense. The only thing you have to do in a podcast is talk.
Yeah.
And I sometimes when I'm very nervous, I can't do my one thing I'm supposed to do, which is talk.
Yeah.
And therefore I feel like I'm fucking up. Like when we had Whitney on as a guest on our podcast for the first time, I just kept blurting out like, "You are beautiful," and she was like, "Okay," and then I had to like slowly become myself. It took like 45 minutes, so I think we're at the point right now where I might start being normal.
I think what's sexier on the internet right now is uncomfortable and casual, as opposed to like casual and confident. Like this, like my energy, sometimes I think it reads like a lot, like it reads hot,
No, I don't know.
But here's the deal. Okay, so let's dig into this. This is a good thing. It's like, there's a whole genre of the internet that does uncomfortable interviews, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's cool, but I have a hard time with them sometimes. I've actually done pretty good with some of them.
The most classic of all time. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I have to.
Please.
The best fucking video of all time of you is you on Caleb Presley's show, which is like one of those awkward ones.
I tried to get out of that.
Really? That's fair.
I was like,
sorry, Caleb.
No, but so I'd seen Caleb. I'm friends with Caleb. I'm not like there's no slight on him, but like I'm not good with those types of interviews.
Yeah.
Like I'm not good because I'm good with this.
Yeah.
Like I can talk to you like this. I can talk to anyone like this.
Yeah.
But like if I have a fear of clowns. Okay. Like I have a real fear of clowns. And so the second that you're asking me to pretend with something, sometimes I disconnect entirely and I shut down. And so when that started, I saw it and I liked watching the interviews, but I was like, I won't be good on it. And I'm afraid I won't perform on it.
Yeah.
And I was a fan of Caleb's because I'd seen him a long time ago do like the frat reviews.
Oh, yeah.
And I liked him. I just thought he was cool.
Absolutely. I mean, Caleb's like a cool fucking dude.
He's a very nice guy. And and Glennie, I connected with Glennie. But I was like, immediately, they want to do it in West Palm. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then I was like, get me out of it. I'm like, I'm not going to be good on it. Because I don't know the right way to respond to those questions. Like when they go, I don't know what the question is, but like hats. I don't know, you know how it is.
Yeah,
like,
what do you think about hats and hats on heads?
Yeah, and then, I think my dad would go like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
Right? But then as an entertainer, you have to play the game. And I'm not good at that sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I was nervous. And then...
But you crushed it though because you came up with the best answer of all time,
buddy,
about drinking.
That's fucking Caleb. That's not me. That's Caleb. And that's the beauty of that show is Caleb creates an energy that's kind of silly.
Yeah.
And Glennie is doing his thing, and it's very fun.
Yeah.
And I when we got done, I was like, I wasn't supposed to drink that day. I was off booze, and they got me on high noons. And Glennie was like, dude, you pumped me the fuck up. Let's have a high noon. And we had a high noon. And I was like, this is fucking awesome. I was like, but that's the energy they create, is they create this fun. So like, I get nervous about that shit, but you shouldn't be nervous. Just trust the artist to let you do the thing and not worry about your skill set going into it, you know?
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I'm so grateful for Caleb and Glennie on that, because that's like my most viral thing, one of the most viral things I've ever done. I just created the most badass shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a design that is me in a total drop squat with a weight where all the words are the speech.
Oh.
It's so fucking badass.
I gotta get one for each of my family members.
Oh, it's so badass. That fucking goddamn speech, man. I'm so grateful for Caleb. I'm so grateful for these guys, because these guys are like my team. My team is like, they're Barstool friendly.
Yeah.
And so like
100%.
they were like, they love Caleb. They're like, don't cancel. Don't cancel. He's a fucking legend.
It's gonna be
He's
worth
a fucking
it.
It's worth it. It's worth it. And I was like, 'cause I was nervous as fuck.
You absolutely crushed it. I mean, that is the most classic. I actually play it when I feel like I'm gonna stop drinking.
It's like it's the biggest compliment I could ever get. I get it from like, if I get it from bros ever, it's like, never quit drinking. I'll never quit drinking. The fucking bottomless mimosas. It's your first kiss. And they recite it back to me, and I said, God damn it. I don't remember any of it. But I remember we got drunk as fuck that afternoon. We got drunk as fuck.
Because I think about those high noons, you can drink 3,000 of them.
Dude, I got to tell you, if anything, it connected me with Glennie Balls.
Yeah.
I fucking love that guy.
Glennie.
I really love that guy. He's
a crack up. He drinks vodka straight.
He's not to be fucked with in brilliant moments of comedy. Like he said something to Leanne, my wife, at the last Beer Olympics that was like the most perfect statement. We're at the Beer Olympics. You start off by drinking 3 beers out of a boot.
Yeah.
And Glennie drinks 3 beers out of a boot, and he turns around to throw up, and he sees my wife, and he goes, 3 beers in Ozempic is not great.
Oh my God.
And Leanne's like, who is that? And I go, that's Glennie Balls. I fucking love that guy.
He's a fucking legend right
He's
there.
just a sweet guy, and he doesn't like, one of the things I respect about someone like Caleb and Glennie, in my opinion, is they don't push it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't push it.
Yeah.
Like they don't, it's almost like they don't care about money or fame or anything. They don't care about this business.
Yeah.
I think that's so fucking cool. Like, I clearly care. I care.
Yeah.
And I care, and I hope you understand that me caring is as cool as them not caring.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like,
No, you
put
can.
your fucking intentions out there.
I know exactly what you're saying though, because they're like McConaughey with it almost, like just like cool for school.
Hey, if this went away, I don't think either of those would give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't think they need it. It doesn't define them. And I think that's kind of fucking badass.
I care too much, like yourself. It's
Well, you wish you cared more?
No. I care too much.
Yeah.
Care too much.
It's okay to care too much.
It's
But it's
just-
real. It's real.
It'd be sicker to be like mad chill with it. I guess is there anything's off limits for you or no?
No, nothing.
Yeah, ever. Yeah. And I think maybe that's where I wish I could reel it in a bit.
What do you mean?
I just did shows in my hometown over the weekend, and my father walked away from my show and said, "Where did I go wrong?" It's brutal.
It's pretty great. As a comedic moment to be walking off stage, fucking high on a kite.
Like I'm like high-fiving everyone I've ever known. Like it's we're shaking hands, kissing babies, and my dad's, "Where did I go wrong?"
That's pure comedy.
It's just
That's like that's the definition of comedy. Is like, just so you know, my dad does not get my comedy.
yeah.
Like, he doesn't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Pete will attest. He'll sit backstage away from the curtain and listen to it, but he won't watch me.
Yeah.
And but it's a different generation. It's not about them. It's about you. Wait, what do you like? Because like, it's funny that you say this, because I overshare way too much.
Yeah.
I wish I was like cool and slick and just, like,
Just know where the sweet spot is, maybe, I guess.
or just like, I wish I knew how to not talk. Like, I respect that so much with like, out of people that just don't share.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so cool, but it's not me. It's like trust me, I've made money off of sharing my daughter's most intimate parts of their childhood.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you weren't supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Like no one did it before me, and then I did it, and then I was like, oh fuck. I was like, maybe I remember the first canary in the mine was like Georgia when she was like a baby, not even baby, like I don't even know what, like I don't remember ages, but like whatever Secret Time was. She goes, hey, can I watch Secret Time? And I was like, yeah, of course. And she's like, I was like, don't tell mom. She was like, okay. So we got in my bed, and I hit Secret Time. And you got to watch this set, but it's like Secret Time. I dry my asshole in the bed. Secret Time. I sometimes spit on the toilet paper before I wipe my ass, called Mississippi Wet Wipes. Secret Time. And then, like those are the things. And then I was like, all right, let's talk about my daughters. They're fucking idiots. My daughter Isla's a moron. And Georgia hit pause, and she goes, has Isla seen this? And I remember going, no, definitely. She goes, I wouldn't show it to her. And Georgia's like fucking 10.
Yeah.
And I'm like, for real? She was like, Dad, are you being serious? When I told Isla's period party story.
It's like a young girl's worst nightmare.
I told her on Conan. I told her on Conan. I went on, and by the way, I didn't plan on telling it on Conan.
Yeah.
Like I went to Conan with like 3 stories, right? Conan comes backstage. He's like, hey, what's up? I was like, nothing, man. He's like, how's everything been? I said, it's been fucking wild. Isla got her period like a couple days ago. And he's like, what? I said, yeah, Isla got her period. And she had me throw a period party for her. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't know. I guess kids are doing it. They like get a red velvet cake. And he was like, wait, can we talk about this on stage? I was like, yeah, sure. I didn't think to like call out and be like, yo, can I share with America that you had your period?
Can I tell everyone you're a woman now, miss?
So I have a flight that night. So you do Conan at like 5. I have a flight at like midnight, right?
Okay.
Conan comes on at like, what, 8 or 10? 8, maybe 9? I don't know. I don't even know back then. And so I tell it, and it murders.
Yeah.
I mean, it murders. I come home, and I was like, this is going to be great, guys. You guys are going to love this. And I put on Conan, and Conan's like, so wait, your daughter Isla got her period, and Isla hits pause and goes, do a lot of people watch this? And I was like, yeah. She was like, how many is a lot, Dad? And I go, like all of America. She was like, all of America is watching this right now? And I was like, yeah. She goes, hit play. We hit play, and it's like, she threw me a period party. And then the thing that was harder for her to wrap her head around was like the idea that we didn't understand it.
Yeah.
That me and Conan were like, what the fuck? This is a weird kid, you know? That was what bothered her, was that she was different. And that's like, in my regret was like, maybe it's not, I have no regret. So we hung up, I got on a plane. I left that night. I felt fucking horrible. I was like, fucking, did I just fuck my kid up forever? And then Leanne was like, Isla woke up really upset. She's afraid that everyone at her school knows she got her period yesterday. And I was like, fuck, I definitely did that. And then she goes, but I started reading fan mail to her because it went viral.
Yeah.
And
I remember seeing it, and I'm not going to lie to you, and I don't want to make you feel bad, but I remember seeing that and being like, I couldn't imagine my father saying this on TV. It's like,
it went viral. And what happened was little girls whose dads were a fan of mine who watched it. They had their dads and their moms write into my email list. This is back when we ran all that, me and Leanne. And they were like, yo, this is a message for Isla. They're like, thank you so much for allowing your dad to share that story. I got my period and I'm freaked out. And now I'm going to have a period party this weekend.
oh shit.
And so, and the kid's so bizarre.
She started a feminist movement, really.
Well, you know what happened? You know what's crazy? I told that, like, so then then Isla calls me. I'm on the road. She's like, yo, I'm cool with you sharing that.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I like that little girls, because little girls were emailing, like, I mean, honestly, like 150 a day were just emailing, like, because it went viral. It was like 20 million views on, I think, Facebook, I think.
Yeah.
And she got so many emails. And she was like, this is actually pretty cool, Dad. Like, this is like a good thing for women.
You are so lucky that you got the fan mail to turn it all around. It could have been really bad.
By the way, there's worse stories I've told them about them that I've never gotten fan mail for. Like, I've gotten fucking, trust me. And by the way, there's secrets that I never fucking told that they owe me for that are so goddamn funny. So goddamn funny. You have 2 young girls going through puberty and you don't care. I have 3 stories that are bangers. And they were like, these don't go on stage. I was like, motherfuck. One time I was going to the ice house. I was on my way to the ice house. It happens. Isla goes her. I pay her, right? For the fucking, I pay her. I can't even tell you what I paid her. If she's watching, she knows what I'm fucking talking about. I paid her, and she goes, yo, this doesn't go on stage. I go, we just exchanged money. This is my story now. She was like, nope.
Well, that's how a deal works.
Yeah, motherfucker. Dude, I got to be pretty litigious with them now, because like they're like humans.
They're adults.
They're adults.
Young women.
But the best one is we go to Australia, and the women on the show were like, hey, will you tell the story about your daughter's period party? Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah, sure, of course. And by the way, time is stretched, and it's been like good, and I was cool with it. So I tell it, and the old dude on the show is like, disgusting, disgusting. We don't want to know that they do that. I mean, he's like a real fucking curmudgeon. And I was like, wait, hold on, what are you talking about? I go, my daughters do it. My wife does it. These women do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe not her, but like most women do it. And he was like, it's disgusting. It's foul language, and I won't be a part of it. And the feminists went after him and used my daughter as an icon to attack this man. Awesome. And I thought that was so and all of a sudden, we add shows because this fucking one moron isn't cool with talking about women's periods. And by the way, I'm not by any stretch of means feminine adjacent. I'm just a fucking bro leveraging a woman experience to sell tickets.
And your daughter at that.
And my daughter, her most intimate moment. I'm so glad I had chicks. I'm so glad. It's like the way chicks bust balls is so much more fun.
Yeah.
Like my daughters fuck me up. I've talked about this on a special. We have a baby walrus thread.
Yeah.
They call me baby walrus because apparently when I get excited, I don't remember how I do it. I don't know how I do it. And I tried to replicate it for the special, but I do this thing when I get excited where I go, and they called it baby walrus. We got one time we were in Italy and they ordered me a Campari Spritz with watermelon. But there's nothing better in the world. And I sat down and I had been taking a nap and they go, hey, meet up with us. We're going to meet up with our family friends at the park, but we're going to have a snack and a drink before we go. So we go and sit down and they're like, hey, I think they did this on purpose. They're like, we got you watermelon and a Campari Spritz. And I went, ah. And they were like, look at baby walrus. And I was like, what'd you say? And they were like, nothing. And I was like, wait, who's baby walrus? But they bust balls. So when I quit zinning, right?
Yeah.
Is because we were at dinner in Hawaii and I had like 6 milligrams, 6 milligrams, and 6 milligrams. So that's 18 milligrams. And then I was putting another one in, right? And my daughter Georgia just goes, buddy, what are we doing?
I mean, that's part of the walrus thing. You open up, you got
yeah. Oh, I got fucking. But I like female energy. I like female bullying.
Yeah.
Female bullying is the best. There's no better energy than a female bully.
It'll put you in your place. Like,
it's honest.
For sure.
It's honest.
It's honest and it's observed, quiet, and not brought up until it's time.
It's so fucking fun and it's loving.
Yeah.
It's meant to love you, but to put you in your place.
Does it ever hurt your feelings?
It did one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it did one time.
Do you want to talk about it or no? Okay, figured.
Nope.
All right. That's fair. I just recently had a thing with my pops. I went on Theo Vaughn's podcast and I was so nervous that I was telling a story about him.
Wait, why do you get nervous?
I'm a nervous wreck.
Why?
Because
You know we already love you.
No. That's the thing.
Maybe I should be more nervous.
No, the mental is like so bad. And here's the thing, like I tell people I'm nervous, so it makes everyone feel weird. And I just have to, I'm like, I'm nervous. So that's what it is. And I'm nervous. And at least I put it out there. But
it's so funny. I never see you as nervous. I see you as, that's not what I see.
I'm working on it. But
so what you're saying on Theo's Vaughn podcast.
I'm nervous on Theo's pod, whatever. And I was telling a story about my dad, and I put two stories together and made him sound like it was really funny, but I made him sound like an idiot. And he was pissed.
You gotta let go of that.
So mad.
He wants the best for you. If he's your father, he wants the best for you. Listen,
well, where did he go wrong? You said.
I fucking. My dad has been. I told a story on a podcast that means absolutely fucking nothing. I don't remember what it was. I get a phone call from my dad, and he goes, "Hey, buddy, we got to start telling the truth when we talk."
Hey, at least he's listening.
And I said, "No, it was his partner's son that listened."
Motherfucker.
And I go, I go, what are you talking about? And he goes, I never had a van.
All right.
And I go, what? And he goes, you said I had a van. I've never had a van in my fucking life. You make me look like a guy that would buy a van. I never bought a fucking van in my life. And I go, you definitely had a van. And he goes, no. You have an active imagination. And which is true. I do. Like, I remember things that maybe kind of happened, but I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't know how you guys tell stories. Do you have like a fucking ledger where you're like, hold on this day, you're right. I was 5 minutes late. I tell the fucking story. I showed up on time. I don't give a fuck. And I go, you had a van. You had a fucking van. When I was in first grade, you had a fucking van. And he goes, I never had a goddamn van. I never had a goddamn van. And you're making me look like a guy in the 80s that would have bought a goddamn van, which I guess
Which
for
is also
him.
a bad look.
Yeah, right? And I go, Dad, it had captain seats in it. We picked up Aunt Judy at the airport in it. You drove me to school the first week. He goes, I never had a goddamn van. So I call my sister. I'll call my sister right now.
Please.
I'll call my fucking sister right now. And this is what drives me fucking nuts. Is your dad wants to remember that he was a fucking gangster, right?
Yeah.
And my dad's the same fucking way. And he bullshit where he goes, I never had a fucking van. He had a, watch this, I swear to God.
Hello?
Hey, did Dad have a van when we were kids?
Yeah, we're having this conversation again. Yes, it was like burgundy, right?
Yeah, and it had captain seats, and we picked up Judy in the airport.
Yes, and it smelled like Finesse shampoo.
I love you so much. I'll talk to you
All
later.
right.
Okay, all right, love you, bye.
Love you. Bye.
Oh, I'm so glad she said that. That is so awesome.
So our parents don't remember sometimes, like, it's tough to remember who you were, and it's tough to hear who you were. And especially when you mash it up a little bit, they go, well, hold on. I got to represent myself as the guy who killed it.
Yeah.
And we had a fucking van.
You totally had a van. I mean, who's going to forget that you showed up on the first week of school in a van?
Grace, I sat in my dad's lap, and I got to use the blinker in the van.
That's a very huge moment in a young boy's
Big
life.
fuck you. You want to do the blinker? I was like, yeah. By the way, it's highly. My dad now will go. You sat in a car seat. Didn't have car seats back then.
They didn't have them
I was in
back then.
first grade. I sat in his fucking lap, and I could do the blinker.
It's like you don't forget those things.
You don't forget the music you listen to. Stevie Wonder. I remember driving home from baseball practice, listening to Styx. You don't remember those fucking years. Are so goddamn amazing. It's crazy. You know, Grace, I said to myself the other day, it was my birthday. I turned 52. And I said...
Happy belated.
I don't think so.
What's up?
What did you say?
I said happy belated, but I think I
I
wish
thought
you
you
a
said,
happy
are we
birthday.
related? And I was like,
Oh, yeah, that too.
I don't think you can be related through birthdays.
Are we related by chance? Speaking of 52.
No, I turned 52 and I sat in bed and I went, how many birthdays do I remember? I can only come up with like 11.
Yeah, I saw you say that.
And I was like, fuck, that sucks.
And is that I can't remember the rest. Were they the earlier birthdays
It
or
was always earlier. Well,
Yeah.
no. So I remember 11. I
Mhm.
remember 10 because we moved in that house. I remember 21. I'm kind of quick. I remember 26. 26 was really important, and because of 26, I remember 27.
Mhm.
I remember 30 was a pivotal one to me. I remember 40. I remember 42. I got an owl for my birthday.
Huh?
Yeah, my
All
wife
right.
got me an owl.
Is that what people do when they make it? They get owls?
No, I hadn't made it. I was only 42, but it was a gift. I only got it for the day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it flew around my my man cave. It was pretty awesome. It's having an owl in your man cave, and they were rolling cigars, and it was a really fun
That's
day.
really cool.
So I remember. So now I remember 50. I remember 50. Like I remember the later ones a little better.
Yeah.
But what I started realizing was like, you got to tent pole your life. Like,
Mhm.
you got to really like why not spend a birthday? Why not have memories? Like the way we talk about, our parents and their memories. Why not fucking make things huge? You think of the first, your first grade year was like such a big year.
Yeah.
Why not make every year that way? Why not do crazy shit? So when you go, what happened on my 53rd birthday? And you're like, oh, we climbed Mount Kilimanjaro.
Like I'll never forget it.
I'll never forget that
Yeah.
birthday. And it's like, because like, listen, if you're going to, you'll never forget, climb Mount Kilimanjaro whenever you can. But like I've swam with great white sharks 3 times.
Sick.
I've swam with shark. Oh, there's a part of me that I find fairly interesting that I never talk about. And it's all the shit I did on Travel Channel.
Yeah.
Like I swam with sharks. I've swam with sharks probably 12 times. I swam with whales. I've swam with whale sharks. I tamed lions. I worked with tigers. I fought a bear. I was the first person to jump off the stratosphere. Like there's this whole thing.
You were the first person to jump off the stratosphere?
Technically.
I was gonna say the first one who made it and didn't die.
No. They were paying Vietnamese women to jump off like $150 during their break.
I wonder how they picked which race.
No, it was just Vietnamese people because they worked at the casino. So they were like, "You're the first person to jump off the stratosphere," and I was like, "Oh, cool." And then they were like, "Hey, you got to talk to this woman. She's jumped off the stratosphere," and I was like, "I thought I was the first person." Like, no, people obviously have jumped. And so I was like, and I'm doing a real interview. This would have been the show I wish I had done. It was called Bert the Conqueror. I was like, "So wait, you jumped off the stratosphere?" And she was like, "Yes." And I was like, "I thought I was the first person." And she goes, "No." I said, "Is it scary?" And she goes, "Yes." I said, "Why did you do it?" And she goes, "My son is in prison. I put money in his commissary. I get money to put in his commissary." By the way, that's the greatest answer you'll ever have on Travel Channel, as opposed to like, "I'm in Vegas.
Yeah.
My son's in prison. I'm putting money in his commissary." And I said, "Really?" She goes, $150 to jump. And I jumped during my lunch break 5 times. So this woman was eating her lunch in the elevator, then jumping, then getting in the elevator, eating the rest of her lunch, jumping, just to make money to put in her son's commissary because he was in prison.
Oh, wow. It doesn't get better than that.
That's the best reality show in the fucking world.
That's so fucking good, dude.
When the interviews you'd get from people when we did Travel Channel were so fucking awesome.
Like authentic, because they didn't expect to be on camera. This is before people would just shove a camera in your face.
This is a different world. Me, Theo, and Brett Ernst did a show for TBS called Frat Life or something. It was basically old school. We were doing old school.
Yeah.
We started a fraternity. I tried to buy this footage because it's so perfect. But I wanted to buy all the footage. I didn't want to buy the pilot. I want to buy all the footage.
Yeah.
This is before, I mean, I say this respectfully, but this is before Theo and I were anything. Brett Ernst was anything. Mm-hmm. We knew each other. We were friends with each other, but none of us had made money. Mm-hmm. We were doing a pilot for like probably $5,000 each. They literally said, "You guys can start a fraternity." And we were like, "Cool." And they're like, "We got you a house in the hills. All you got to find is the guys. We're going to film it. You can plan everything. You guys plan everything." So I was like, "Cool." So we put an ad in Craigslist.
That's awesome. Did they give you a budget for this?
I think like $50,000.
All right.
And they wanted us to run everything. Me, Theo, and Brett Ernst ran everything. We put an ad in Craigslist, not realizing what we would get. We got dudes that were at the end of the ropes. They were like, "My life sucks. I'm not happy. I want to fucking turn this around. Being famous would fix it. I'm going to be on this show." When we greeted these guys, I remember Theo being like, "This doesn't look like the cream of the crop." I remember one guy introduced himself to us and he goes, "Hey, give you a heads up, I got pretty aggressive PTSD." And we're like, "Cool."
It's a good warning.
It was the funniest pilot I've ever been a part of in my entire life. We had things scripted out because it's reality. They script it and they're like, "Yo, okay, we're all going to get in this tour bus at Burnham Murray. We're going to get in this tour bus and we're going to all hop in this tour bus and then we're going to drive. We're going to take a long drive and we're going to get them lost. They don't know where they're going, but we're ultimately going back to the fucking hills, to Topanga Canyon. We got this mansion with a waterfall attached to it. It's fucking incredible." And they're like, "Great. First night we have a party, but that's not what we need to do now. We need a fucking fraternity mascot." And they're like, "Let's steal a goat." So our producers are like, "Yo, we've already bought a goat. We bought a goat from this guy. We're going to go to his place. We're going to grab the goat and we're going to go." And we're like, "Cool." So we go, awesome. So we're in the car. They pull the car over and we're like, "All right, guys, here's the deal. First thing, we need a mascot. We need a goat. We're going to steal a goat." This dude, Killian, I think was his name, fucking bolts out of the thing. And like 5 dudes go with him. The guy with PTSD is like, "I'll scope the perimeter." Theo's fucking got a bandana on. He's like, "I'm with you." They go out. They come back within 5 minutes with a fucking goat. And they've got it. They're holding it up. They bring it into our party bus. They put it down. They're like, "Fucking, we got a goat." The place goes nuts. Yeah. We start killing fucking beers, taking shots. And the fucking producer goes, "All right, so the location for the goat's about 5 miles from here." And we're like, "We already got the goat." And they're like, "What?" And I was like, this isn't our goat? And he's like, God damn it, you stole a fucking goat? And we're like, you told us that we had a goat. And he goes, no, wrong place. And then Theo's like, that would explain that guy shooting at us.
Oh
and
my
we're like,
God.
there was a guy shooting at you? And he's like, we thought it was part of the sketch. They stole a fucking goat from a goddamn fucking farm.
Oh my God.
Oh, it gets way worse. It gets way worse. We go the first night, we're like, we'll throw a party. Theo and Brent are like, this party needs to pop off. Let's hire porn stars. So we hired 5 porn stars to show up. We got a band of naked women who would play music and start pillow fights and spit whiskey in your mouth. I remember one dude coming up to me going, dude, I think I just cheated on my wife. The fucking sound guy comes up to me and he's like, come here. I go, what? And he goes, takes his headsets off, puts his off, and I hear a guy getting his dick sucked in the bathroom. I was like, none of this is going to work for the fucking show. None of this is going to make the show. With the last day, we have a football game. It's powder puff. It's women who play football. That's the catch, right? Guys, we got a football game. Here's the teammates, and it's all women. So we go out, no one wants to hurt a woman, and we're like, all right, let's play. And these women are these are like fucking diesel fucking women. They're fucking lining up. They got pads on.
Oh, ain't no lingerie kind of thing?
No lingerie.
Oh,
They're
okay.
fucking in pads. And they're not like, they were like roller derby. These are like, and they fucking go at it. And we're like, yo, I thought we were playing. They're like, fuck you guys. Brett Ernst is like, bring it in, boys. We're like, what? And he goes, I want to see dead lesbians everywhere. I fucking take these whores down. Theo's like, I got $100 for any broken kneecaps out there. And we fucking clothesline these whores. They were fucking dead. It was the greatest pilot I've ever been a part of in my entire life. And I swear to God, I offered to buy all of it. When I didn't have money, I would double that price. That is the best content I've ever shot. And man, you guys, I mean this with like all respect. Theo Von is funny today, but when you didn't know who he was and you didn't understand what he was saying, he was the funniest human being you've ever been around. He was the funniest. He would say things, and this is like people know him now, right? So you maybe expect it. I don't know, but man, that motherfucker was by far, hands down, the funniest human being I've ever been around. And listen, Amy Schumer will say the same thing. Chris Fairbanks will say the same thing. Donna Rollins will say the same thing. Mo Mandel will say the same thing. I did 2 TV shows with Theo. Mm-hmm. And man, that fucking guy, sometimes he wouldn't even make you laugh. He'd make you go like this. I'll tell you what, if I could buy that, and if I could buy, we did a TV show called Reality Bites Back. If I could buy Reality Bites Back, but I want all the footage. I want all the footage. Theo woke up one morning and he goes, hey, was someone scanning the perimeter? And the guy, we had a little Asian guy who didn't speak English. He had thrown up in the trash can and he had fallen into the trash can and he couldn't get out of it. And Theo's like, woke up and hey, where the fuck's Wang? Is he in the trash can? God damn it. I mean, it was the funniest fucking pilot I've ever been a part of. And we were like, it's going to be great. The problem is I think they were producing Keeping Up with the Kardashians at the same time. So they wanted it to look like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And so it didn't read right. They didn't let it breathe. They wanted to be clicky and quick. I would love to hear Theo's recollection of it because I remember from my perspective.
Do you think it'd be funny to call him and ask him?
No, don't call Theo.
I would never call Theo.
I always think like there's certain guys that you call, right?
Yeah.
There's certain guys that are just private that I know they're private. Yeah. Where you don't call them unannounced because it bothers them. I have FaceTime people. Mm-hmm. So like I'd FaceTime Chappelle. But Chappelle also FaceTimes me. Like I FaceTime Shaq.
What are you and Shaq getting into?
Ooh, buddy. That's the funniest human being alive.
Is he?
Without a doubt. My wife has a phrase, and it kind of sucks that she didn't know that this is what Stavi called his special. He called himself a special fat rascal, I think. Yeah. My wife always calls like Gillis. There was a night where she was punching Gillis in the chest at this comedy store in the back bar. She's like, "You're a fucking rascal. You're a rascal bully. A rascal bully." And we were just on a fucking call with Shaq the other day, and he was cracking my wife up on low key, big Zoom. Big Zoom. And Shaq's texting my wife. Low key, that's the right way to say it, right?
Yeah.
Like he's texting me and my wife.
On the DL.
He's texting me and my wife. It's not privately, but he's
Yeah.
texting. And she could not keep a straight face. And then we got off the Zoom. She's like, God damn it, you're a rascal, Shaq. You're just a rascal. God, you can't stop playing. And Shaq was laughing so fucking hard. He is my favorite. Like Snoop is like just fucking awesome.
Wow.
When you talk to him, you're talking to the man, not the legend. That's just who he is. And then the legend slips in every now and then. It reminds you, and you're like, ooh. It's almost like when you see the people swimming with sharks and they put their hand on the nose, but the shark shakes it away, and you're like, oh, I forgot I'm with a bad motherfucker. I forgot I'm with a bad motherfucker right now. But Shaq is like a fucking orca who just fucking bumps your he bumps your fucking. I love that I just turned them both into fucking mammals or fucking, but Shaq's like an orca who bumps your paddleboard and just fucks with you a little bit. And you're a older white chick in a wetsuit going, leave me alone. And Shaq's like, nah, we're having fun today. Shaq's the fucking man.
Oh shit!
I fucking love Shaq.
Who's
I
more
love
fun,
Shaq.
Shaq or DJ Diesel?
DJ Diesel.
I figured.
Man, he's a fucking unique dude. He really is. He is wildly respectful, wildly like polite, wildly concerned with like just how he represents himself a little bit. But he is like he's a role model. He really is.
Yeah.
There's kids that look up to him, and he's aware of that. I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
But God damn it, he is the funniest motherfucker.
I will be remiss if I didn't do my little questions real
Please.
quick. So I don't know if you know, but I am looking for a new co-host, and I figured I'm going to audition people and see if they'd be a good fit. And so I'm going to riddle off a few questions, and just let me know what you think. Question number 1, would you ever disclose my salary to the public?
Nope.
All right, thank you. Do you think women are funny?
Yeah.
Name 3 of them.
Bonnie McFarlane, Rosebud Baker, and Nikki Glaser. I tried to go a little deeper because I didn't want to just say the obvious ones. I mean, the obvious ones. I think Sarah is a fucking genius. I think Chelsea's a gangster. There's so many. Blair Sochi is like fucking amazing. There's so many great women. I would argue women are funny or fun. Whitney, I mean, there's like, remiss. Whitney's like a sister to me, but like women funny is different than male funny. And it's so much more enjoyable a lot of the times.
All right, you passed with flying colors. Here's the hard one. Now I'm going to share a few scenarios, and you tell me if these are HR violations.
Oh, I'm the wrong guy. I used to play a game called Sexual Harassment. Oh no, I used to play a game called Not Sexual Harassment or Not Sexual Harassment.
I like that one better.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Ball tapping your boy as a form of endearment.
It's not sexual harassment.
Yeah, that's what I said. Drinking on the clock.
No, that's not at all sexual harassment.
Oh, HR violation.
Oh, no, not an HR violation. I was like, Jesus Christ, I've been fucking Me Tooing my whole fucking staff.
This last one is it's an obvious no for me, but complimenting a coworker's new chest by saying, let me squeeze those new old honkers.
No. That's... I think that's, I hate to say it, I think that's a HR violation. It's like, let me squeeze those new old honkers.
Yeah, that was a test.
Okay. I was like, wow, I want to be cool, but Jesus.
And this segment's called In the Green Room.
Great.
All right. So basically the idea is we get a little personal, get a little intimate, and I want to begin this segment by asking you if you have anything cool on your rider.
No. Actually, I think I have too many things on my rider. Yeah. My rider's pretty simple. It's a charcuterie board with pork rinds, pistachios, Tito's. Tito's used to be on my rider before Porosos. Tito's was real. I was a ride or die for Tito's until they fucked me. And then,
they didn't fuck with you?
No, they just they said something fucking wildly inappropriate that I thought was fucking stupid. They were like, "Yeah, go fuck yourself. Stop drinking Tito's. What are you gonna do?" I was like, oh, I'll start my own fucking vodka. How do you like
That's
that?
badass.
I'm going to invest way too much money out of spite.
It's delicious, by the way.
It's delicious. It's delicious. And I didn't like the way they handled that. Like, I just was like, yo, I'm a ride or die for you guys. Like, yo, I'm not saying like make me a part of the company, but like bring me in as a brand ambassador, like find a way to let's work together. And their exact words were like, you can go fuck yourself and just stop drinking Tito's. We already got you. And I was like, ugh. It just grossed me out. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, I'll just start my own vodka. And so Tito's used to be on, now it's Porosos. I only drink Porosos. I don't fuck with Tito's at all.
That kind of reminds me of that story you've told about how when you tried to go back to college and your professor told you to go fuck yourself.
That energy always drives me. When someone tells you you're powerless, and you kind of are, the powerlessness, it fucking bothers me.
Yeah.
And it bothers me and it makes me angry. And like, I don't forget grudges. And I hold grudges. And Tito's was so, like, the local reps, I gotta say this, the local reps were so cool to me for so many years. They bring me product, they bring me merch, they bring me dog bowls, and it was such a cool company. And then when I talked to their fucking execs, I was like, this is gross. Like, this is like, and I'll say this right now, if you're into Porosos and you wanna work with us, dude, I want people that want me. Stavi said it the best.
Yeah.
Stavi said it the best. This is like one of those pivotal moments where you hear something on a podcast and you go, that's fucking gold. He goes, I used to want to fuck chicks that didn't want to fuck me. And then one day I realized, why wouldn't I want to fuck the chicks that fuck me?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Why would I want to join a team that doesn't want me on the team? I don't fuck your team. And so I was like, I got burnt from Tito's on that, and sadly, none of the other vodkas I liked. I really didn't. And so I was into whiskeys for a while, and I was like kind of lost. And then I was like, "Fuck it, I'll start my own vodka with Tommy." And
That's
Tommy,
fucking sick.
yeah. What was the question?
What was on the rider? And
It used to be Tito's, yeah.
And was there a specific person that lit the fire under your ass to get into comedy?
My dad, didn't like my ass to get into comedy. My dad, on my 26th birthday, I'd moved to New York. And I've told this before, but there's a reason to tell it a second time because it's a good story.
Sorry.
No. I got written up in Rolling Stone magazine as the #1 party animal in the country. Moved to New York thinking it would be gifted to me. I thought, no, I'm set. I'm set. It's it's one of the things, and I'm saying this candidly, but it's one of the things that you'll find with where you're at now. Because right now you have a platform. You had this huge pop of success, and right now you're at a rebuilding phase. And this rebuilding phase is really fucking awesome. And figuring out where you want to go, what you want to do, what you want your voice to look like, and what you want to be is like amazing. I call it the salad days. So it's like the first meal you get with your course.
Oh, shit, that's good.
Yeah, I love it. There's phrases I attach to that I love. And so for me, I got popped in Rolling Stone and I thought, yo, I'm on. I'm going to be huge. Moved to New York and it just didn't happen. And I was like, wait, and it's like been like, I can't get on stage. I can't get no one is like remembers this article. The article is going away. Like, what am I doing? And on my 26th birthday, my dad called me and told me I was a piece of shit. And I had no humility and I had no idea what humility was. And I didn't have a chance of humility and I was just a party boy. And if you just need me to give you money, I'll just give you money, but you're never going to amount to anything. And because of that one conversation, it changed my life for the rest of my life. I've had this conversation with my dad a couple times and he doesn't remember it that way.
Of course not.
Of course not.
Of course not.
And, but that changed my life. That one conversation on my 26th birthday changed my life. It's the reason I write goals every year on my birthday. It's why I take myself to dinner by myself on my birthday.
Oh, shit.
And it was the best conversation I ever had. I went to the comedy club, the New York, Boston Comedy Club. I said exactly what my dad said to say. It didn't work.
Yeah.
That night, I went back. I told my dad. I went back the next night. I said the exact same thing. I said, listen, I'm going to say this every night until you give me an opportunity. And that night, he let me on stage. He let me bark at the door. And I started barking at the Boston Comedy Club. And 6 months later, I signed a deal with Will Smith.
No shit.
And it was my dad. That conversation's like the greatest. Now, adversely, we're talking about to women. The problem is that speech was so pivotal to me. I thought that's how you raise children. And that's definitely not how you raise little girls.
Yeah.
It's just, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So,
and then, that's where they develop stone hard balls. And they're like, well, no, go fuck yourself.
they're fucking, yeah. Sorry, next question.
Sorry. Yep. This is called That's Disgraceful. It's a segment where I present you popular opinions and you tell me if you agree or disagree with these takes. Kool-Aid in the morning.
It's perfect. Hold on, stop. Are these written for me?
Yeah.
Because you know that I believe in treats. I believe, like, if I was going to write a self-help book, number one chapter, first chapter is give yourself a nickname. Second chapter, 100%.
See, I have to disagree.
Oh, come on.
You can't give yourself a nickname.
You absolutely can.
But you did, and you got it.
No, I
But
gave myself
someone
on
like
accident.
a Joe Schmo can't really give it. Like,
Here's the deal how the nickname works, okay? Right? So you go, hey, guys, from now on, it's Thunder Pussy.
oh, that's
And everyone's like, Thunder Pussy. And then they make fun of it. And then, just like a Borat joke, the joke becomes the joke. And then all of a sudden you really become Thunder Pussy. And then one day you're at a bar and you're like, Thunder Pussy's ready for a drink. I walked into a room. This is the nickname I've tried to avoid. I can't remember the story entirely. I was drunk, I was hammered, and I was ready to go to bed. And Leanne and Peter my wife and Peter were still partying. And they said, oh, come on. Now, listen, everyone knows I like to get loose. Everyone knows I can outlast everybody. But also, we're trying to be responsible. My fucking assistant and my wife are telling me to stay up late. And they know I'm fucking got to work in the morning. And so okay, you guys want to bring out Captain Bad Boy? And they lost their mind. And they're like, Captain Bad Boy? And I was like, is that a good one? And they were like, oh, I'm so sorry, Captain Bad Boy. And for a week, they would call me Captain Bad Boy. And I was like, guys, drop it. It's not, I fucked up. I meant to say something else. So you can absolutely give yourself a nickname. Just be careful. Because if it's fucking silly, you're stuck with it.
Yeah, that's
Mine
true.
was the machine. I walked in, I meant to say, I'm the man, Yamashina. And I said, Yamashinu, which means I'm a fucking car. And these guys started laughing. They're like, he's a machine. And I was like, I'm the machine.
well, in that sense is the only sense I think it works. Because if you have a just like some fucking idiot kid going, you guys should really call me Smacky or something like that. It's
No, I've given myself a lot of nicknames. The B-Man. My sisters to this day call me B-Man. They'll go, B-Man, what are we doing tonight? Birdie Boy.
I love Birdie Boy.
Birdie Boy is my sisters. My sisters call me Birdie Boy. As a matter of fact, that's my favorite tour I ever had. And I've had a lot of favorite tours, but I love people call me Birdie Boy. Because I only hear it from my sisters and my wife. My wife and my sisters call me Birdie Boy. So when a stranger calls me Birdie Boy, all I hear is love.
It's your production company too.
Yeah, my Birdie Boy Productions. The girls call me Fetus or Feet. Isla calls me straight up Feet. She'll go Feet. I love it. It was the first one was Fetus, and then it turned into Fetus, and then it was just Feet. I love Baby Walrus. I love Baby Walrus. I love a nickname.
Nicknames are great.
Nicknames
honestly.
are great. And if you have a nickname, you have an alter ego. And if you have an alter ego, there's a part of you that can get bigger than who you are.
Yeah.
And it allows it. It allows it. That we were talking about writing a self-help book, but that's like my first fucking chapter. What was the other question?
Kool-Aid in the morning.
Oh, and my second chapter was allow yourself a treat at night.
Yeah.
You need a treat. If you're not working for a treat, you're not working. You need a treat. For a lot of people, it's alcohol, it's weed, it's food.
Yeah.
But man, if you're trying to fucking mend fences, Kool-Aid's a pretty great treat. Like when I was not drinking, I would bring Kool-Aid on planes with me. And I'd get a water bottle, I'd fill it with ice, and I'd fill it with water. And then I enjoyed my treat. I'd crack my Kool-Aid, one single serving, and I pour my thing, and I shake it up. I take my first sip, my brain would go, yeah, we're here. Can I give you another little bit of self-help advice? And I know I'm going so long.
No, please.
Okay, can I give you another bit?
Absolutely.
This is number one. This is number fucking one. I said this to a bunch of guys today who do drugs and party.
Of course.
We were doing that before we came here. We got pretty fucked up.
Oh, let's go.
I said, listen, if you're struggling with alcohol or food or porn addiction or gambling, whatever you're struggling with, I get it. Quitting's not the answer. All you got to do is do better today than you did yesterday. Just do better today than you did yesterday. That's it. And a little bit of improvement means a lot.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in Hawaii with my daughters and I was putting those thins in my mouth, I woke up the next morning, my hands were shaking. I was partying pretty hard. My hands were shaking. And I was like, fuck, am I there with drinking?
Yeah.
And I was like, is that bad? And then I went, I think it might be the nicotine. I did have like 100 milligrams of nicotine before I went to bed. And so I said, you know what, today? I'm just going to do better than yesterday. I'm not going to quit everything because that's like crazy. You're setting yourself up for failure and you're setting yourself up for shame.
Yeah.
I said, I'm just going to do better today than I did yesterday. And so I said, I'm going to quit Zins today.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't Zin all day. And my hands stopped shaking. And I went out and we had a good time. We surfed and I had a few drinks. And I woke up the next morning. I felt pretty good. But more importantly, my hands weren't shaking. But more importantly, I was proud of myself because I did better today than I did yesterday.
Yeah.
And I live my life like that. And that's the way you got to look at things. Don't set yourself up for failure and be like, I'm done drinking forever. And then you're like, all right, I fell off the wagon. And then you're living in this shameful fucking spiral.
Yeah.
Just do better today than you did yesterday. That is the fucking key. Sunday, my first drink was at 4 o'clock. Me and Leanne. We're at the beach. No, Saturday it was at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
We went to we were at the beach, went to a brewery. 4 o'clock, I was checking because I drank all day the day before.
Yeah.
And I woke up, I said, just do better
be
today.
better.
Just do better today.
That's easy to do.
Grace.
You can achieve that.
It's very achievable. So I had to drink at 4 o'clock. And I said, not bad. I drank until maybe 10 o'clock. I had a bunch of water, went to sleep, woke up kind of still hungover, and I went, okay, just do better than I did yesterday. And so that day we drove in, we watched the Bills game with Peter, and I watched the clock. I had my first drink at 4:05. It was better than the day before, right?
That's good.
And Pete, I stopped drinking at 7 o'clock, which I wasn't checking it, but I was checking time.
Yeah.
And I woke up feeling a little better. Last night, I went to dinner. I didn't have my first drink until 7 o'clock.
What?
And I was done by 9 o'clock.
Wow.
And I had 4 drinks, and I smoked a joint. I went to bed. I woke up feeling great. Now today I started drinking around noon. But here's the deal: you gotta allow yourself these days so that I can do better tomorrow than today. What am I gonna fucking not drink at all? No, you gotta give yourself these days to fuck up and correct the system.
I 1010% agree.
We should write a self-help book.
Oh my God. Well, I think you have all the answers, and I'm just learning as I go.
How old are you?
26.
You're 26.
26.
God, you're brand new.
Yeah.
I hadn't even started.
story.
I hadn't even started comedy.
Well, you got your foot in the door at 26.
The foot in the fucking door. You're dealing with full blown fame at 26. I mean, I can't imagine the world you live in at 26. You in therapy?
No. I'm getting there.
You gotta do therapy. Hang on,
I'm getting there.
Stop. You gotta do therapy.
Yeah, I tried to.
Hey, listen, BetterHelp, if you're listening. Hang on, I'm being dead serious. BetterHelp's a great sponsor to podcasts.
Yeah.
They've been a fucking friend of mine for probably, 7 years? BetterHelp's a great fucking source for online therapy. It's convenient, it's accessible, it's affordable, and you can switch therapists for any time for no additional charge. And I'm telling you right now, all you got to do is meet with one of their and you can switch therapists at any time. It's so fucking great. You have to get in therapy.
Yeah.
You have to get in therapy. There's no way. I'm going to give you a heads up right now. There's no way you're going to navigate this safely without therapy.
Yeah.
There's too much going on in your life. I don't have as much going on in my life as you do. You have a lot going on in your life. You need therapy. You have to get in therapy tomorrow. It's so good. It's so helpful. Leanne and I are in couples therapy.
Oh, that's lovely.
And it's fucking awesome. And we didn't get in because we're fighting. We got in because we're in a good place. And we're let's get in front of it.
Oh, that's so smart.
I've won the last 2. But the first time I went into therapy, Leanne broke up with me. We've been dating 4 months. And I kind of got loose at a dinner party with her and her friends and said wildly inappropriate barstool shit. Just the things that you would think that all the barstool guys I love would say casually, I said, right? And they just were like, this guy's a piece of shit. And Leanne didn't know what to do with me. She kind of dumped me. And I got her back in 4 days. And then she was like, you need to be in therapy. I got into therapy. Did not take. It did not take. Then I had a big blow up with a friend. And so I went to therapy. The first day I went to therapy, it was I don't know what therapy costs, $1,200 or something. I don't know what therapy costs. I don't. My wife won't tell me how much my therapist costs or my trainer because she goes, just go.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the price.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
She's so good.
I went to 1 day of therapy. The guy didn't know who the guy was. And I was like, we should maybe Google it. I think you can Google it and find it online. And then I was 39 and I went to get tea with Joey Diaz and smoke a joint. And I told Joey Diaz, you know Joey Diaz?
Yeah.
I told Joey Diaz I was in therapy. He's like, dog, fuck that shit. He's like, you come here, you have fucking tea with me every fucking day. We have coffee, we smoke a joint, we smoke cigarettes, we fucking talk every day for a month until we get through this shit. That's what friends are for. And I was like, okay. And so I stopped. I didn't go to therapy. And every day for 1 month, I was sober for 1 month. I wasn't drinking, and I was on a fast, and I'd go and I'd have tea and coffee with Joey Diaz. We'd smoke a joint, and he'd smoke cigarettes, and we talked it through it until the point where he was like, you gotta let this shit go. I can't hear this another fucking day. Dude, we're done, buddy. We're done. Fuck the guy. He's nothing. He's nobody. Come on, man. I can't hear another fucking story about this guy. And, that's what you need a friend for.
Yeah.
And that's what therapy doesn't do, is like tell you to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And I fucking love Joey for that. And by the way, that was the end of me ever giving a fuck about that one thing.
Yeah.
That one moment with Joey where he's like, you gotta be done.
Yeah.
And by the way, Tommy was already done with me talking about it. Everyone was done with it. But Joey Diaz was like, dog, we're fucking done.
Yeah.
And I have not thought about that thing the way you would, ever, 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 ever again. And but therapy can be helpful, and it should be, or a fucking friend where it's like, I got to dump every day until you tell me we're done. Okay, last story.
Of course.
So my daughter's name's Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia Hardstark is one of the hosts of My Favorite Murder. Georgia, my daughter, has saved her name in my phone as Georgia, my favorite daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia Hardstark is saved in my phone as My Favorite Murder.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, my favorite murder. I just ran into Karen the other night, and I shared this with her. It's the fucking wildest story. So, as anyone knows, a little girl and their dad disconnect at a certain age. They fucking turn into assholes. You guys get your periods and you fucking disconnect, and you don't want anything to do with your dad.
And you don't know how to deal with it, and then you start being all weird, and then you get mad at him for it. There's another side.
Okay, I would like to hear that side, because I just saw someone that wouldn't hug their dad and sit on their lap anymore. So Georgia and I disconnect at like 15 during the pandemic. We reconnect we're still having a hard time when she's in college. We're like when she's getting ready to go to college. So we're getting ready to go look at Boulder.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing Red Rocks, and I'm in Red Rocks, and I know she's flying out, and I'm like, yo, I got to reconnect with my daughter. I'm going to read you the text. It's so fucking good. We were all getting on the plane. I'm sorry. I said, Georgia, Mom and I are getting ready to head to Colorado, and I want to tell you that I love you more than anything in the world. And whatever I've done to make you angry or mad at me, I would love to try to make it work and work it out and get past it so we can start having a great relationship again. Let's start this weekend in Colorado. You don't have to fall in love with any of these schools. I just want you to see what college campuses look like and show you how beautiful Colorado is. 3 very different schools. Regardless, we're going to have a great 3-day trip, laughing in a car, staying in nice hotels, having room service, and seriously, no pressure. Just fun. I love you more than anyone will ever love you in this entire world. Dad. I sent that to Georgia Hardstark. I wrote immediately, I went, oh, fuck, I'm so sorry. This is Bert Kreischer. Please disregard this text. Obviously, this was meant for my daughter, who's saved in my phone as Georgia, my favorite daughter, and you're Georgia, my favorite murderer. And she wrote back, oh, my God, I'm reading this crying, thinking it was from my dad.
Oh, no.
And how sweet this is. I've got to tell you, you have the wrong number. But once I was a teenage girl who hated her dad. So all I'll say is just be patient.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Isn't that great?
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that one almost made me start crying.
I got teary-eyed. All right, let's wrap this bitch up.
All right, well, thank you, Bert, so
Hey,
much.
congratulations. You're 26.
Thank
Your whole fucking life's ahead of you. I'm your friend, and I love you. And
Thank
remember
you,
that.
Bert.
Remember that. I've had friends that go through this business where the business eats you up. And it's just the business social media eats you up. I love you.
I love you, man. We're pals?
Of course.
Fuck yeah.
How do we end this? How do we end this?
Promote your new tour.
I don't have one. I got a new special. It's called Lucky. It's on Netflix. March 18th. Check it out, please. I hope you like it. That's it. I mean, I really hope you like it. I put a lot of work into it. It's going to be fun. I would argue it's my second best special. I can't be serious. No, it's a good special. I hope you like it. And Lucky on March 18th on Netflix. Now I'm drunk.
Fuck yeah, guys. Check it out. I can't believe I said tour. That's my bad. Now
No.
I'm drunk.
If I go on tour, it'll be in September, I think.
Hell yeah.
But if I don't, then it's because better things are happening.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for coming on. It means the fucking world. So
Grace,
thank you
love
very
to
much.
death. Love you to
Appreciate
death,
it.
kid.
Thank you. Put it there.